What's up, freaks and geeks, and welcome to episode 50
Woo!
of The Good, the Bad, and the Freaky. We can't believe we've done this many episodes so far and have some really cool things in store for this week.
Yeah, this week we're talking some new shows coming to SyFy, more about Marvel Legacy, and a bit on Blade Runner.
That's right, so let's get right into my good this week. Sort of follow up to my good last week in Marvel Legacy number 1. We're starting now to see the broader line come out and be on shelves, which is really exciting. I have here in front of me Avengers number 672, but also this week an Iron Fist book, Venom 155. So some really cool books are starting to come out for this new line of Marvel stuff. I'm personally very excited for both Avengers and Iron Fist.
Oh yeah, they have some incredible covers and some really classic looking storylines going down.
Yeah, super classic. In fact, Iron Fist gets the return of a character who first made his appearance in an Iron Fist book, Sabretooth. They are going head-to-head, which I think is a really cool concept.
That is, definitely.
Yeah, so very excited for that one. But here, Avengers has a new artist in Jesus Says. I'm going to miss Mike Del Mundo's art.
Yeah, fantastic stuff out of him.
Yeah, super wacky, but he's moving on to some other books that I'm really excited for as well. And I think Jesus holds the whole thing together, really.
Very cool. I'm glad that you're liking this Legacy title, and yeah, the ones we've seen thus far, either Spider-Man or Venom or Iron Fist, are really, it looks like it's all going to pull together.
I think so. And in this book, it's sort of a classic team-up issue.
Champions?
Yeah, the Avengers team up with the Champions to stop a giant meteor from hitting Lexington, Kentucky. But there's some other really weird things at play that I think made it a pretty solid read. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
That's totally, definitely really cool. Two super powerful teams grouping up there.
Yeah, some of Marvel's most powerful characters in that book. So I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next issue for sure.
Awesome. So my good this week is one of our favorite books, Deadly Class, by Rick Remender and published by Image, is coming to SyFy. It is being made by the Russo brothers, who obviously have a pretty good track record with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they've done a lot of television, and then obviously did The Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, and now are heading up Infinity War for Marvel Studios.
Yeah, some huge projects, and so they got their hands on Deadly Class as well, which kind of follows the story of some young high school kids training to be world-class assassins in the 80s, and it really kind of captures the 80s perfectly through characterization and whatnot, and it is a super cool book, and I'm hoping they can continue to capture that essence in the show.
It's a gripping story, definitely one of our favorites. It was a former comic club pick, and maybe one of our most successful reads in that club so far. And I'm excited to see it go to SyFy. You know, at first it had me scratching my head a bit, but, you know, in recent years, SyFy has really sort of put out some really good content. So.
Oh yeah, a lot of fans online were wondering if SyFy could handle the grittiness that is inherent to Deadly Class. But then they look at The Magicians and those kinds of shows, which are based off of novels that have quite a bit of grittiness to them themselves. So I'm thinking SyFy will make it.
Yeah, The Expanse gets pretty dark at times.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if they're working off good source material, I think they can do pretty good work.
Absolutely.
So very exciting to see Deadly Class coming to SyFy. We'll keep an eye on that story for you guys. Let's move on to our bads. I don't have a bad this week.
No.
You know, New York City Comic Con's going on this week. Maybe there will be something coming out of that makes me cringe a bit. But outside of that, pretty solid week for pop culture news.
Yeah, no doubt. I have a quick complaint, and it really kind of follows our Marvel Legacy praise. I really do like Marvel Legacy, and we're seeing the return of a lot of characters we love, including Wolverine, and it's hinted that Bruce Banner's coming back, and obviously the Fantastic Four. I mean, that's all stuff we've been waiting on for a long time. But here's a character that I personally feel is a big chunk missing out of their current universe, and that's adult Cyclops, Scott Summers. He kind of left off on a bad note, generally left a bad taste in fans' mouths when he died, and now he's been replaced by Kid Cyclops, who kind of is only referred to from adult Cyclops' legacy, the memory of the terrible things that he did. And so it really just feels like a big missing chunk out of the X-Men, such a quintessential character that's not there.
Yeah, young Cyclops is a part of the Champions team currently, as well as in X-Men Blue. But yeah, a lot of his sort of character development is focused around what his sort of former self accomplished, and he really wants to, you know, disregard that legacy and create his own story. But we're seeing the return of a lot of X-Men characters and classic characters. I would be really surprised to not see Scott Summers come back, but there's really been no inkling of that yet.
No, yeah, it would be a perfect opportunity through Legacy to, just open up a portal or something and bring him back. I wouldn't complain. But as such a charismatic and powerful X-Men, he just deserves to be in there.
I agreed, 100%. Let's move on to our freakies. My freaky this week has to deal with Blade Runner 2049. As some of you might know, and if you're watching on October 5th, it comes out October 6th in theaters everywhere. And I'm a huge fan of 1982's Blade Runner. This is the sequel, directed by Denis Villeneuve, with a really cool returning cast, including Harrison Ford, and also a new runner in Ryan Gosling. So the cast is really exciting. But what some of you guys might not know or have realized, I think it kind of flew under the radar, is that some really cool directors teamed up to release 3 different short stories that sort of bridge the gap between 1982's Blade Runner and this year's Blade Runner.
Very cool. That sounds awesome. What a star-filled team. I mean, geez.
Very much so, yeah. My favorite, personally, was Watanabe's. Of course, of Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo fame. He's a big anime creator. He created Blackout 2022 that tells the story of replicant uprising, only a couple years after the original movie is set.
Very interesting. That definitely sounds like a setting that he could grasp and make something out of.
Yeah, that very cyberpunk, gritty street level sort of thing. I think he felt really comfortable in.
Yeah, that's his home.
Yeah, it was beautifully scored and animated. Just a super cool short film. I believe they're all on YouTube now.
Awesome.
So definitely check those out before you go see Blade Runner 2049 in theaters.
Nice. So my freaky this week is about a show very near and dear to my heart. All 140 episodes of Matt Groening's huge hit, Futurama, are finally coming back to network television through SyFy. Yeah, I am pumped. It seems like a very fitting home for them, and as long as they don't speed up the episodes or throw in too many commercials or something, I'm sure fans will be quite pleased.
That's a good point. That's something we see a lot on reruns of television shows. They speed up the format so that they can fit more commercials in, and that would really suck.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. If they really give it the respect it deserves, I think everyone's going to be really happy with Futurama's new home at SyFy.
I think it is a good home for Futurama. We've followed the story for a bit. A couple months ago, we talked about it being our bad for Futurama having left Netflix. It has a storied history
of jumping networks and subscription services and whatnot, but finally, I think it really might be right at home.
I wonder if this is telling of things to come for SyFy in terms of more animated content, right?
That would be awesome, per
Maybe
se.
a certain book that just was announced to go on SyFy?
I think Deadly Class would definitely be very fitting as an animation, but however it makes its way to SyFy, we will definitely have our eyes on it.
So that does it for episode 50 of The Good, Bad, and the Freaky. Thank you guys so much for joining us through 50 episodes of the show and participating and just having a good time with us. We love doing this. If you could, like, share, subscribe, comment. It does so much to help us keep the Freakopolis Geekery open and meeting so many wonderful, awesome people. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.